Mishnah 7. Nita Harabeli Omer Harchek Mishachen Ra V'al Titchaber Lo Rosha V'al Tityayish Min HaPuranot. Bad guys. How do you deal with bad guys? I'm doing my best to be moral and ethical and principled and upstanding and honest, and there's lots of bad guys who are bad influences. What do you do about them? How do you deal with bad guys? So he says, Harchek Mishachen Ra. First thing you need to do is create distance between you and an evil neighbor. Get away from it. Run! Run away! Right? Build distance. Don't live in a place where there's bad people. We'll see later in the second parak, right, that Rav Yochanan ben Zakkai will ask his students, what's the most important thing you can have in life, and what's the most destructive thing you can have in life. And one of his students says, the most destructive thing you can have in life is a bad neighbor. The most important thing you can have in life is a good neighbor. Right, so here he says, Harchik mishachen ra, run away. If you have a bad neighbor, run. Put distance, get away from him. Right? A neighbor is your whole environment. It's the stuff, the general sense of who you live and where you are and what's around you and what's affecting you, the stuff that pours into your eyes every single day. But the downside of a bad neighbor is a neighbor is your environment. He's not your friend, but nothing you can do. He's next to you. So he says the first idea, and how do you deal with negativity? How do you deal with evil people? How do you deal with bad people? He says get away from them. Create physical distance. So you say, but I can't, because he's my coworker. I can't fire him, it's not my choice. My house is underwater, I can't sell my house. I'm stuck where I am. What do? The first step is distance yourself. If you can't distance yourself, then he says, Al titchaber lo rasha. At the very least, don't make him your close intimate. Right? That you have control over. I can't make you go away. I can't physically separate from you. But that doesn't mean I have to become your best friend. I don't have to hang out with you. I don't have to invite you over for a beer. I don't have to ask you for advice. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to be emotionally connected to you. So he says, here's how you deal with evil. Push it away. If you can't push it away physically, then push it away emotionally. What if you can't even do that? The person who is a bad influence is your chaver. It is someone that you can't get away from. It's your brother, whatever it is, but you can find yourself, right? So the last he says is all tityayish min hapuranot, is don't despair of punishment. Don't give up hope, or don't think that you'll get away. He says the worst case, when your mom said don't hang out with troublesome people, she was right. It matters who your friends are, she was right. But at the very least, right, so these are my classmates. I certainly can't get through life if I'm not friends with my classmates. I can't get out of the classroom, and I can't not hang out with them and do projects. So at the very least, you should know that pain and suffering are coming. Right? If you do the wrong thing with them, I'm sure your kid knows, right? You do the wrong thing, and it's coming down on your head. Or at the very least, you should know it's coming down on their head. So, in our Mishnah, he says, don't worry about it. Nita Harabeli says, in the real world, don't despair. The king of the universe has got a big book, and he's writing it all down. And the people who need punishment will get punishment. And the guys who are doing wrong, it'll get dealt with. And if you do wrong, it's coming down on your head. Okay, next generation, right? So you see those two Mishnayot together are dealing with good people and bad people. Right? So we're building this first chapter, we're kind of building the fundamental relationships of life. The world's built on three things, right? And then we come down and say you got good people and bad people. Good people, get a teacher, get a friend, judge favorably. Bad people, separate yourself physically if you can, emotionally if you can't, and know that the boss runs the world and there's going to be punishment in the end if necessary.